have a 2005 Impreza, pretty nice body. The owner had started some work on it, so we're gonna help him out with completing it, and then this is a full repaint. Before we go any further on the body work, once upon a time this was in a little front end bump, so we're gonna actually replace the rad support. You can still get these rad supports new from Subaru. They're incredibly cheap actually compared to what you'd pay for a used one that you have to drill out all the spot welds. It's much easier just to get a new one. So yeah, we're gonna start with swapping out the rad support, get all the panels on the car straight and lined up, and then kind of the finishing body work and in for a paint job. It's going the original silver. It's the 01G, not my favorite color. So here we are, we've got the bent rad support off. I don't know if you can see that, it's pretty tweaked. So how we did it is drilled out the spot welds. We've got the new one in. It is not welded in, so first step before welding was get the fenders, hood all lined up, make sure everything's right where it's supposed to be. Then we're gonna go in where we drilled out the spot welds. We're gonna get the back, the new piece down to bare metal so we can weld, but we're gonna mark in there first, get them down to bare metal, and then put some weld through primer and work our way along, filling in all the rest of the spot welds. And that covers the rad support. Now she's a nice straight front end. Okay, now that we got our fender gaps there set and our hood and fenders lined up, underneath here, in behind on the new rad support, we have the weld through primer. We've taken this down to bare metal. So we're gonna start to lock this in by welding all these little holes, and once we get it secured to the car, we can take the fenders back off and finish the welding underneath of the fenders, just like factory. Alright, we've got everything we can get at tacked. So now I'm going to take the fenders back off. There's two spots under here that end up holding it to the front frame fork there. So this is going to stay in place now, like this is on there. So fenders off and 4 more spot welds to do and grind down what we got and get some paint on it. Hey, there we are guys with the final welds. Now I'm gonna go along and just tune these up with the little die grinder, and then we can get some paint on it. She is rock solid, and most importantly, it is straight. We got these knocked down, they look really good, that's super smooth. Now we can paint it. The other guy, if I was doing this for a SEMA build, I would have not ground these down, you know what I'm saying? But this is, yeah, just an everyday car, so I mean, I'll grind them down. If I was going to SEMA, I'd let them ride. So that's how they do. Alright, with just a little bit of sealer primer, the new spot welds are looking super sweet. So next step is, because this is just the black that it comes from Subaru, we'll sand this down, take all the stuff back off, and paint it with the 01G to match the rest of the car. And then we can resume putting the panels on and begin the actual bodywork. Alright, back on the silver blob. We are into the final stretch of bodywork here before we can put it in some filler primer, just working on dents and dings and stuff like that. So I think one more day of preparation and we should be ready to do this in filler primer and then sand that down, and we are ready for paint, which is exciting. All right, we got another day worth of prep into this little blob eye here. I'd say at this point we are probably ready to get a coat of filler primer on this, block it off one more time, and we are ready to paint. All right, so we got the side clips drilled in for the skirt. So I'm gonna show you how I do this here. So this is definitely something you don't want to mess up. You don't have any margin for error, or else your skirt is gonna be crooked or not fit at all. There we are with all the clips inside. These are mostly all brand new clips. There's our holes along there. I did skip one hole because this little retainer is broken. I'm drilling them with a 23/64 drill bit. So that is important because it needs to be the right size for the clips to pop in just perfect. When I've drilled the hole, I'll go over it quick with that just to take any burrs off so it's nice and smooth. And how I actually do it is, you can see on the tip of them they have some red, so I'm using a red paint marker. I start at the front, I put my clip through there to the fender, hold the skirt up nice and straight, and I do one at a time. So one clip I press down, then it will leave a red mark on the rocker, then I drill it out, I put the actual clip in, I clip it on, and then I move to the next one and work my way down. Once you have all of these ones drilled, you can just pop your skirt on like how your skirt is supposed to. So skirt on, and then you're gonna have to go, let's see if I can do a rotation here, underneath now and drill the holes for these guys. So actually, I never noticed this car is an NA chassis, but you can see there's a little plug there. So I feel like if you take that plug out, and we're super lucky, it's the correct size for the bottom clips, and then we don't have to drill it. All right, here is the clip for mounting a side skirt. These are the little clips that came out. Usually most cars at this age don't have a rocker anymore, but that guy fits right in there. It's sweet. So all I got to do is take them out and don't have to drill holes. Right, on the other side we have the skirt holes all drilled. We got out those little plugs in the bottom, so we are totally side skirt ready. Otherwise, now the car is ready for filler primer. So now we're going to take it off the dollies, pull it outside, blow it off, get it into the booth, finish the masking, and get it in some primer. All right, here we are with the filler primer on everything. So now from here, we'll be blocking out the car, looking for any final minor blemishes, and then we are ready to prepare for paint. All right guys, we are in the booth with the blob eye here after all the body prep has been done. So we went over this with a 400 grit and then over again with a 800 grit. Get it nice and slick. We're just warming up the booth here. It's a little chilly being a Canadian fall morning. Let's paint this thing. Here we are now with the paint on. It's looking pretty sweet. Silver is my worst enemy. I'm what I would consider a rookie painter. I got a little bit of malting on the first coat, and then I just opened my fan up larger and less fluid for the following coats, and I was able to correct it and cover it up. So it does look pretty good. So yeah, we're gonna let this continue to dry for the rest of the day, then I could pull it out tomorrow and get into the loose pieces of the car. Here we are back with the loose pieces for the blob eye repaint. Everything turned out pretty good, nice and shiny. These were difficult to paint. I rolled some tape and stuck it behind them, but they kind of wanted to blow around when I was hitting them with the gun. Yeah, everything does look good, so I'm gonna resume assembly. I ended up doing another set of skirts for someone else. And yeah, we'll get this guy together, see how she looks. Spoiler went well hanging like this. I was afraid it was gonna blow around everywhere, but it didn't, and it looks really good. Here we are back and all assembled now. I've been waiting for some sun to get this outside, and there has yet to be any. So once I do get some sun, I'll get it out. You can see how she looks in the sun, but in here it does look really good.